morning, Not 11 Kids. We're so excited that you're joining us today. Guess what? We're starting a brand new series called Crossover. This month, we're learning all about the extraordinary things that God has given us. This week, we're learning about a guy named Gideon. Stay tuned to see what extraordinary thing God gave him.
It's time to play Skippy's Shades. Which color do you think he will wear? Hands up for red, hands down for yellow. If you are correct, you get to stay in the game. If you are wrong, you are out. Let's go. If your hands were up for red, you can stay in the game. If your hands were down for yellow, you are out. It's time for round 2. If your hands were down for yellow, you can stay in the game. If your hands were up for red, you are out. It's time for round 3. Let's go, Skippy. If your hands were down for yellow, you can stay in the game. If your hands were up for red, you're out. It's time for round 4. Which one will Skippy choose this time? If your hands were up for red, you can stay in the game. If your hands were down for yellow, you are out. Let's play one more round. Skippy, pick those shades. If your hands were down for yellow and you were still in the game, you win. If you lost, thanks for playing and try again next time. It's time for Skippy to get a treat.
Hi guys, it's Miss Lauren here. That dog Skippy looked pretty extraordinary in those shades. Don't you think? Extraordinary means that something is so unusual or even amazing. Did you know that God made you extraordinary? Let's go to Cash to hear our big idea.
The big idea is God give us a piece.
Thanks, Cash. Let's go see how God gave Gideon extraordinary peace.
God's story. Gideon. So part of God's story is about a man named Gideon, and it begins like this. Israel, God's special family, had turned against the one real God and worshipped idols. They had forgotten how God had loved and cared for them and needed a reminder that He was the one in charge. So God took away the Israelites' farms for 7 long years. Whenever the Israelites planted crops, God would let another nation called the Midianites sweep through and camp on Israel's land, ruining everything that was growing there. But even though his own family had forgotten him, God still loved them deeply. So, at the end of the 7 years, God appeared to a young Israelite named Gideon. God said He was going to free the Israelites with Gideon's help. Gideon, however, wasn't so sure, so he asked God to prove Himself by performing a series of miracles. Gideon said, "If the fleece is wet with dew in the morning but the ground is dry, then I will know that you're going to help me rescue Israel as you promised." That's what happened. Just to be sure, the next night, Gideon asked God to do the opposite, make the fleece dry and make the ground wet. And God did it. Next, He even sent a sign through an angel. Gideon was finally convinced that God was in his corner, so he called together an army to fight against the Midianites. Now, normally having lots of people is a good thing when you're about to battle, but like I said, God does things a bit differently. He told Gideon that the Israelites had too many soldiers. If they won now, God knew the Israelites would say it was because of their own strength and brag about it. So, God wanted Gideon to have a smaller army. Gideon was nervous, but he did as God asked, which is always a good idea, by the way. He told his men that if they were afraid, they could return home. With that, 22,000 soldiers left, leaving Gideon with about 10,000. For you math whizzes, that's 2/3 of his army just poof, gone. Even after all that, the army was still too big. So God told Gideon to take the soldiers down to the water to drink, and then send home the soldiers who drank out of the stream like dogs. Again, Gideon did what God asked and was now left with only 300 soldiers. God knew Gideon was probably worried, so he told him to sneak down to the enemy camp where Gideon heard soldiers talking about a crazy dream where a loaf of bread rolled into the Midianite camp and over their tent. One soldier said that could only mean that Gideon would triumph over them. Gideon returned to his own camp confident that he would win the battle. He divided his men into 3 groups and gave them each a trumpet and a jar with a torch inside. Not usually what you bring to a fight, but God had a plan. Gideon's army reached the edge of the Midianite camp and then went into action. They blew their trumpets, smashed their jars, and shouted, "A sword for the Lord and for Gideon!" And don't forget, they did all of this without a single weapon in their hands. Terrified, the Midianites fled, accidentally attacking each other as they went. In fact, they ran so far from the battlefield that other Israelites were able to capture and defeat the leaders of the Midianites. With the enemy leaders gone and their army running away, God had saved Israel, just like he said he would. And that's the story of Gideon. So, in case you missed it, here's the quick version. Israel turned away from God. God reminded them he was in charge. God said he would save Israel. He would use Gideon. God performed miracles for Gideon. Gideon gathered an army. God made it smaller. Much smaller. Soldiers had a dream. Gideon's army surprised their enemies. The Midianites ran away. God used Gideon to save Israel. And that's a part of God's story.
Gideon definitely had a huge job to do, and he seemed concerned. But of course, God knew that Gideon was going to be a great leader. And time after time, God gave Gideon peace.
Hi guys, time for some corny jokes. Do you know what the baby corn said to the mom corn? He said, "Where's popcorn?"
Are you ready, friends? It's time for everyone's favorite time, Grow TV. Let's go see what Carl and Cassie are talking about today.
There I was, knee-deep in the Florida swamp. The gator and I were nose to nose. And I slowly reached my hand out of the water to use as a distraction, and took my other hand and grabbed him by the neck and the tail. I could hear his teeth chomping, just trying to get a piece of me. Then all of a sudden, I woke up. The dream was crazy.
Hey, you know we're rolling, right?
Like now?
Yeah, we're filming. The video has started.
Oh, so we're going.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Hi there, you little chicken nuggets. It's me, Carl. That wasn't embarrassing.
Welcome to Grow TV. Introducing your host, Carl.
And your co-host, Cassie. Where we learn, where we grow, and we talk about Jesus. Once again, welcome to Grow TV.
Well, hello there, kiddos. It's glad to see each and every one of you. Even though I can't see you, it's cool. And welcome to Grow TV. I'm actually glad y'all are here, because I need to show you something. Now, I have a whole collection of my all-time favorite pictures, but recently, I've heard that they might be fake. Now, I'm just surprised as you, okay? So we gotta get to the bottom of this. So let's get started. I'll show you a picture, and if you believe it's real, put your thumb up. If you think it's fake, put your thumbs down. Then, I'm gonna look at my notes, and we're gonna find out whether or not that picture was fake or not. All right, picture number 1. It's a short, stubby giraffe. Now, usually they're pretty tall, but have you ever seen a baby giraffe? Well, I don't know. I've never seen a baby giraffe. And because of that, I'm gonna say it's real. It's fake. Come on.
Hey, Carl.
Cassie, I need your help.
Are you playing Fake or Not?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. I love this game. Let's go.
All right, next picture. Falcon holding the phone.
Real.
What? I don't think so.
Look at him. He's holding a phone.
With hands. Falcons don't have hands, Cassie. They have claws.
I mean, maybe.
What do you mean, maybe? Let's see. It's real. It's real.
Look, it's a reflection. The guy is taking a photo, and the reflection makes it look like the falcon is holding the phone.
Oh, well, that makes sense, I guess. Next one.
Whoa.
Yeah, that looks super dangerous.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with fake.
You think?
100%. No one is that tough to stick their head out of an airplane window in the sky.
Well, I am. I'm that tough. Ouch.
All right, let's see if it's fake or not.
Ah, stink.
Okay, this is the last one.
It's a cow on a car.
Are you okay?
It's a cow on a car.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with fake.
What do you mean it's fake? It's literally just a cow laying on a car. How can that be fake? Are you kidding me?
I win.
Wow, I can't believe this.
Can't believe what?
I got all those wrong.
It's okay.
No, it's not. I don't know what to believe in anymore.
It might be hard to tell the difference between what's real and fake, but God will always give us the proof that we need.
I guess you're right. It's like the time when God split the sea for Moses.
Yep,
The time God revealed his promise through a rainbow for Noah and his family.
absolutely.
And when Queen Elsa froze over all of Arendelle and made an oath to live in the mountains for the rest of her life.
I don't think that's in the Bible.
Oh, you're right. My bad.
But you're on the right track. It's just like the story of Gideon.
Giddy Wuddy?
Gideon, he was an Israelite.
Oh, an Israelite. The cousin of the termites.
No,
Parasites.
no.
I guess I'm lost. Keep going.
Okay, well, Gideon was going through some tough times because they had a long 7 years and everyone was worshiping idols.
What's an idol? Is that some type of weird stinky cheese?
No, an idol is anything that we believe is more important than God.
Well, nothing's more important than God.
I know, but they still worshipped idols. One day, God talked to Gideon and told him that God was going to use him to free the Israelites. Gideon doubted that it was really God talking to him.
Really? Wow.
What?
Well, to be honest, sometimes I have doubts about life and if God is even really talking to me. I guess it feels good knowing that good people like Gideon went through the same thing.
Of course, it's normal to doubt, and it can actually help you learn more about God. Look at Gideon. He asked for multiple signs, and every time, God answered him.
Did his doubts go away?
Yep, they sure did. And because of it, Gideon helped save the lives of all the Israelite people.
How cool is that? God took the doubt of Gideon, then gave him victory and peace.
Yep, God gives us extraordinary peace.
Hold up. I think she just said our big idea. Today's big idea is God gives us extraordinary peace.
And on the count of 3, we're gonna shout it out together. Ready?
1,
2,
3. God gives us extraordinary peace. Way to go. You did it. You are the best. The best. God's even better though, and he gives us extraordinary peace because that's our big idea.
I think we learned a lot today.
We sure did. I loved learning about Gideon and how God can give us so much peace if we just trust in him.
Yep, it sure is cool. Wait, you have something on your sweater. Oh.
Thank you for watching, and tune in next week for a new episode of Grow TV.
Carl and Cassie were right. Gideon doubted God, but God gave him peace and he trusted him. What else does the Bible say about peace? Let's take a look at Philippians 4:7. Then God's peace will watch over your hearts and your minds. He will do this because you belong to Christ Jesus. God's peace can never be completely understood. God gave Gideon great peace. Gideon felt he was ordinary, but God made him extraordinary. Okay, now we're going to go into worship. As you're worshiping, ask God to give you peace to do extraordinary things.
as we shout out the name of Jesus. There are people searching for so much more. Shine your light, show 'em what's worth living for. Let it shine in the morning when you rise. Let it shine when you're found in the darkest night. There is hope in Jesus, life anew. Let His love shine through you. We wanna lift you up, we wanna praise your name, we wanna shout it out. Forever we will sing of your amazing love. We wanna lift you up, up, up. We wanna lift you up. Lift your hands and your hearts up to the sky. Lift your song up to Jesus. Let it rise. Lift Him high above everything. He is all we'll ever need. We wanna lift you up. We wanna praise your name. We wanna shout it out. Forever we will sing of your amazing love. We wanna lift you up, up, up. We wanna lift you up. We wanna lift you up. We wanna praise your name. We wanna shout it out. Forever we will sing of your amazing love. We wanna lift you up, up, up. We wanna lift you up. Sing it out, sing it out, sing it louder. Shine your light, shine your light, shine it brighter. Dance around, dance around, dance around. Shout it out, shout it out, shout it out. Sing it out, sing it out, sing it louder. Shine your light, shine your light, shine it brighter. Dance around, dance around, dance around. Shout it out, shout it out, shout it out. We wanna lift you up, we wanna praise your name, we wanna shout it out. Forever we will sing of your amazing love. We wanna lift you up, up, up. We wanna lift you up. We wanna lift you up. We wanna praise your name, we wanna shout it out. Forever we will sing of your amazing love. We wanna lift you up, up, up. We wanna lift you up, up, up. We wanna lift you up. Shine your light, shine your light. We wanna lift you up. Shout it out, shout it out, shout it out.
Thanks so much for joining 2911 Kids. And remember that God has given you something extraordinary. He has given you peace. Make sure you check out our kids page. There you'll find activities and games and discussion questions that go along with this lesson. We hope that you're back next week for when we have our second part in our series, Crossover, as we talk about how God has given us extraordinary strength.